Hey guys, today I'm starting something new. I'm thinking of doing a weekly series where I talk about the latest news in world football. It's a pretty simple concept. I'm just going to talk about the latest things that I think are worth talking about if I've got opinions on them, and I will be doing this hopefully weekly or just whenever there's some really interesting news out there that I think I should talk about. So hopefully you're up for it. If you are, please do leave a like rating, and also I should mention just a couple of things before the series begins. As you know, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I will try my best to not just talk about Arsenal because I know obviously that's not what you're all interested in. However, if there is something big regarding Arsenal, I probably will talk about it because, well, you know me, I'm an Arsenal fan. And actually a lot of the content on this channel over the years has been about Arsenal. But I will be unbiased. I will try my best to cover all things football, not just Arsenal. Also, guys, every now and again, I may have a sponsored episode, so I'm telling you that now because, as you know, the whole adverts apocalypse thing on YouTube is killing some YouTubers, so it's just going to help and support my channel. So hopefully you're okay with that. And actually today, it is sponsored by OneFootball. It's a fantastic app. Let's check it out. So this is OneFootball, and for me, it's the only football app you need on your phone. It is absolutely incredible, guys. As you can see here, you get all of the matches around the world, live scores. What you can do is actually follow some teams that you support in real life. So for me, obviously, it's Arsenal and England. You can add any clubs you want. Once you've picked your favourite team, it also sends you notifications, instant push notifications. So it tells you when your team has scored and conceded, when there's been a red card, when it's full time. Also, one of my favourite things is the latest news and headlines. Not only do you get all of the information from around the world, but you also get the latest news regarding the team you're following. So I get Arsenal news right here on the following tab. There's just so much information you can get out of the football games as well. Not just the score, not just push notifications saying when they've scored or conceded. You can also vote on the best player. And also, if you go over to Live Ticker, if you're not watching the game, you can get commentary, which is really, really good. So there's actually a few occasions where I've not been able to watch the game live, and I can just read and see what's going on. You also get the lineup as well, which was a bit of an odd one for Arsenal, with 3 at the back, as you can see there. And of course, you get stats as well, which is always nice to know. You can see how many shots there have been. Also, you can follow competitions, not just clubs and international teams. As you can see here, I follow the Premier League, the Bundesliga, so on, so on. And that means you don't get all of the information. You can pick and choose what information you want to see, which is one of the reasons why I love OneFootball, and I fully recommend you guys download it. The link is down below. I wouldn't be showing this to you if I didn't think that, so please do go ahead and check it out. Thank you very much to OneFootball for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. Now, let's get into the video. Like I said, guys, this whole series is football based, and it's always going to be about football, and if an episode is sponsored, it will be football related, so it's something you guys should be interested in. So thank you for understanding. Now today, we've actually got a pretty big one. I thought I would kick off with some interesting news, and I've got a little list down here. So first of all, we're going to be talking about Jack Wilshere having another major injury. We've got Juventus versus Barca earlier on in the week, which I've got some strong opinions on. We've also got Kolasinac moving to Arsenal possibly, and we've also got Keane leaving Burnley, the young defender, a future star for England. So quite a few interesting topics. Let's get straight into the Jack Wilshere injury. Now straight away I want to say it's just awful. It's really, really bad news for Jack Wilshere fans, for Arsenal fans, for England fans as well, because he's been a key player in the England setup when he's been fit. And this is just yet another setback for who I would say is a fantastic, not so much young player anymore. He's, you know, he's not exactly young anymore, but still a fantastic prospect. And it's just, I've got a bad feeling this might just be the last nail in the coffin. Is this it for Jack Wilshere? Is that the final setback? Does that mean that Arsenal are going to let go of him? Does that mean he's never going to realise his full potential just because of these injuries he's had throughout his career? Now, also I want to say that for me, Jack Wilshere, I'm a big fan of him. I really like his play style, and I really like the fact that he's quite aggressive. He's almost like a bulldog type midfielder, and he would fit in any team. He really does do a job for the team. And although I'm kind of sad that this could be the end of his Arsenal career, although it might not be, I think I've heard that they're offering him a new deal at Arsenal, so I guess that's good news for him. But I do want to say, I think personally, as an Arsenal fan as well, I don't think we should be signing him on a new deal. I think that maybe this is it. Now, that might seem harsh. Jack Wilshere still has plenty of time left in his career, and if he can be injury-free, could still be as good as we all thought he could be. But I think this is almost a Diaby situation. If you know who Diaby was, an Arsenal player that basically spent more time injured than playing for Arsenal, it could be another situation where we hang on to these players for season after season after season, paying them all these wages, and they never play, they never make an impact on the club. For me, we've got to cut our losses, and maybe it's time to be a bit more ruthless and say, Jack, I'm really sorry, but this isn't working. You've clearly got some injury problems that are they're not going away. It's time that maybe you move on. And it is sad because when he's fit, he's brilliant, but when is he fit? That's what you've got to think about. So maybe Jack Wilshere will end up at a club like Bournemouth, and maybe he will stay injury-free. But is he ever going to be good enough to play in a top 4 club? Arsenal aren't even that anymore. Is he good enough to play for a title contending team? I just don't think he is. But I don't want to talk about it too long. I want to keep these videos relatively short so we can get through the news quickly. But Jack Wilshere, in my opinion, should be sold by Arsenal, because I think that's it now. I think that's it. Now, moving on to Juventus. Now, they played Barcelona in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. They did progress, of course. And I wanted to talk about their defence, because I can't be the only one that was watching that game and just blown away by how solid they were against, you could say, one of the most dangerous front three of all time with Messi, Neymar and Suarez. And just coming out of it unscathed. They didn't even concede a goal against Barcelona. That is absolutely incredible. So I think you've got to pay your respects to the Juventus defenders and the midfielders that helped defend. The whole team were incredible. And of course, Buffon in goal, who for me has to be one of the best keepers of all time and seems to be getting better the older he gets. I mean, he could still be playing at the age of 50 and he will be better than Neuer. Okay, I'm obviously exaggerating a little bit, but I think a lot of people maybe don't appreciate what Juventus did and think that it's almost a bit boring. But let's just go through it really quick. They won the first leg 3-0. They beat Barcelona 3-0. You cannot say that that isn't a good tactic and not going forward and trying to score goals. 3-0 against Barcelona, who, yes, maybe don't have the best defence. So I think they were well within their rights to then play the second leg, just sit back and just take the pressure and just don't let them break through. And they did it brilliantly well. Now, a lot of people aren't a fan of football like this, the defensive football. But the way Juventus did it and the way Barcelona couldn't score was just incredible. And I had to talk about it because, for me, Juventus, they have a strong defence, but you look at it and they're ageing a little bit. You know, you've got Dani Alves at right back. You've got Chiellini in there, who is, of course, over 30 years old now. Yet they're still playing at the top of their game. Dani Alves, you've got to bow down to him. Absolutely fantastic player. And you just got to congratulate Juventus. It was absolutely stunning what they did. And I think they might actually be just about second favourites with Real Madrid just ahead of them. And also, just a quick note, Monaco, bravo. Monaco look like the team to watch at the moment, looking so strong. So the semi-finals are going to be incredible with Monaco versus Juventus and the two Madrid clubs. Now, moving on to the next story, we have Kolasinac to Arsenal. Now, if you don't know who Kolasinac is, he's a Bosnian left-back / left midfielder / left centre-back that plays for Schalke. His contract is running out this summer, and anyone could snap him up for free, providing that he agrees to join them. Arsenal, apparently, and I don't know if it's true yet, it looked like it was certain that Arsenal have actually agreed to take Kolasinac on next season. And I think the wages were around 80,000 per week to 100,000 per week, which is probably more than any other club have offered him. And do you know what? That surprised me. It really did. Now, I don't want to be talking about transfers all the time, but because of the time of year, because we are approaching the summer and coming towards the end of the season, there will be a lot of transfer rumours going around. And this seems to be the first one involving Arsenal. So I wanted to talk about that. Kolasinac seems like a very good, versatile player, very strong. He's physically very good. And going forward, he's just as good going back as well. And I think that's what we've been missing with Monreal and Gibbs. You've got two decent players, but Kolasinac, he's young. He's got loads of potential. I think he could actually be a very nice addition to any squad. And I'm not surprised that I think Everton, Liverpool, Bayern Munich even, I believe, are looking at him. So if Arsenal do end up getting him, that's a fantastic deal. A free transfer, just paying his wages, of course. You'll know my Nottingham Forest career mode. I've done that a lot recently, so I'm a big fan of free transfers. I think it could be a really good deal, but I have read as of this morning, I'm not sure when I'm releasing this video, but apparently it's not confirmed. Schalke have actually said that there's no deal in place and they're still in conversation with Kolasinac himself and his agents. So as of now, nothing's happened, but it does seem Arsenal are they're looking good. They're looking like they're going to be signing Kolasinac on a free deal this summer, which would be good business. Now, once again, we are going to talk about another defender that could potentially be on the move this summer, and that is Keane, the ex-Man United player who now plays at Burnley. He looks extremely good. For me, I'd say he's quite similar to Stones, although I would say he's got more potential. I really like this Keane guy. I think he's probably going to end up moving back to Manchester United, for example, seeing as I think he was an academy player at Manchester United, but they clearly didn't see much in him. Whoever eventually gets Keane, they are a very lucky club. I really am a big fan of him. I've heard that Everton are trying to sign him on. I think Southampton are interested. I mean, surely every single Premier League team would love to get Michael Keane because he does look like a future star. The only issue is English, young, hyped. Those are the three key words there. I mean, you're looking at a lot of money. You saw how much Stones went for. I don't think he'll go as much as Stones, especially because it was Man City. You know, Everton would have thought, well, we can get a shit ton of money from Man City. Let's just bump up the price. Burnley won't be in that same position. I think, you know, I think Everton are probably most likely to be going for him at the moment. I don't think Everton would get shafted like Man City were and then just pay whatever it takes. I think that they would get themselves a pretty decent deal. Apparently, you're looking at around 20 million to 30 million to sign Keane. And I think Man United will be kicking themselves because it's almost like another Pogba situation. You let a youngster go, they turn out to be fantastic, and you buy them back. So who knows what's going to happen to Keane? I think, like I said, whoever gets him is a very, very lucky club. I would absolutely love to have him at Arsenal, of course, but with Holding, we've got Chambers out on loan. I don't see the need for him, even though he's better than both of them, if you ask me. So who knows what's going to happen. But guys, more importantly, as this video comes to an end, let me know if you like this type of video. I think I'm going to work on some cool graphics for episode 2 and try and spice it up a little bit. But this is almost like a pilot episode. So let me know if you like the core idea. Maybe you want me to have some gameplay in the background. Maybe you want me to do something different with the style of video. Just let me know. Once again, thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. Of course, it won't be sponsored every time, but every now and again, like I said, it might be, so hopefully you understand. Thanks for watching. I haven't even got a name for it yet, so let me know if you've got any suggestions, and I will see you next time.